Hello everyone, I'm Brian Croy Dragon and welcome back to Choice of the Petal Throne. Chapter 3, The Battle of Sangmire. Sangmire, Summer, 2365 AS. Sangmire has been under siege by your forces throughout all of a hot and dusty summer. With supply lines cut and a large civilian populace trapped inside, the defending general Sakan Haikanuma of the Legion of Scales of Brown has decided to throw the dice and take from the field of battle before his troops are too weak from hunger and disease to lift their weapons. This morning a messenger from him arrived and terms of the coming battle were spelled out. Now you join the other officers in a sumptuously appointed test to discuss strategy. Dejaya Hekuraluo. The names in this got nothing on the names on Game of Thrones. Dejaya Hekuraluo of the Legion of the Blue Peak is surrounded by her Dritlan and Kasai, including one familiar-looking noble who keeps casting glances in your direction. Though many have joked that your general Bashuan Hai Samiran and Dejaya Hekuraluo must be twins because of the closeness of their friendship. You have only met her a handful of times, and on those occasions felt awkward in her presence, sure of some hostility on her part. She lays out a plan to employ the two mighty gauntlets of Haruga, a formation in which two small but powerful units race upon the flanks of the main battle in order to take advantage of enemy weakness. During the fight, the Legion of the Ruby Hand will be divided in half under the direction of its two Dritlan to fulfill this key role. As a Kasai, you will direct your serum of 400 soldiers as part of the Ring Gauntlet under Dritlan Naruman. As the officers digest this news and begin to whisper amongst themselves, the Kasai of the Legion of the Blue Peak stands. General, when facing this formation, most enemies will try to drive a wedge between the body and one of the gauntlets. You need solid men there who will not give ground. I'd like to volunteer my serum to stand beside the right gauntlet. He looks down halfway through his speech, aware of making a spectacle of himself, though most of the senior officers snap, and the other Kasai look like they wish they thought of volunteering first. Dejaya Hekuraluo smiles maternally, a look you have never seen before on her face. Of course, Naren, you know I can't deny my favorite nephew. Now you yourself will stay upon the platform and relay orders from there. Your soldiers and I will risk. I will not. Wait, this one again. Your soldiers I will risk. I will not. The name and the voice you instantly. The name and the voice takes you back. The name and the voice takes you instantly back to the brawl of your youth, and you recognize the face. He has grown leaner in the intervening years, looking more like a scholar than a soldier. Oh God, I thought that was a woman. Bashuan Hai Samiran turns to you and politely inquires where you feel you will do the most good in support of your serum. He? Yeah. Why not? The older officers nod appreciation of your wise decision. A soldier on the ground is a pair of blind hands. An officer on the platform is his eyes, the Roman intones. Though none take much notice. Over his shoulders, just inside the lamplight, you can make out one of the signalers waiting patiently, lest you need to send a message. Roll her eyes at the speech, to the amusement of some of the younger officers. I do not wish to make a scene, but I return her eye. Your silent glare promises a talk on the subject of respecting the chain of command. At it, the signaler stops her pantomime and looks down deflated. The meeting is breaking up when Kasai Narum ventures a discreet cough. At his aunt's rave and call to spit it out, Kasai, he speaks. I've studied the maps, and Sangmire is valueless. The grain stores are depleted, none of their clans make armaments, they don't control any Sakbi roads. We're about to fight one of the so-called Emperor's top legions over a dust speck. Why are they here? Why are we here? His voice is tight with frustration at thwarted intellectualism. Your nephew is tactically astute, Lander woman says to the Jaya Hekuruloma, who ignores the flattery. There was nothing obvious in Sangmire that the classical masters would tell us to value, he lectures Naroon. But those same masters counsel faith, and run superiors when the strategy is not clear. While the smugness radiating off him, you would guess that whatever the secret is, he's in on it. At the end of this night's preparations, as you head for your bedroll, the signaler comes from the tent, steps from a shadow, placing a light upon your arm. Her eyes reflect the lamp light as she looks up and you step back. Up close, you recognize her face, though she has grown and changed, as you have in the past years. You last saw Sayi as a girl, raving from the wall of the clan house as you marched to war. Now you find her a woman grown, standing before you, slim and strong, in the uniform of your legion, but with the same irresponsible grin upon her face as she takes evident delight in your confusion. Sayi, what are you doing here? Sayi glances down at her nails evasively. What, you're the only one who can follow in the family's tradition? After so many battles, the dear old legion has begun to relax its recruiting standards a bit, she says. But here and now, perhaps we should keep matters professionally formal. I see our Dritland giving us the eyes. Charming fellow that he is, he'd probably dock my pay for chatting while on duty. I wouldn't have come out, but, well, when I saw who I'd be transferred under, I couldn't help myself, and I'm supposed to give you my official transfer papers. Sayi hands you a scroll bound with the general's seal. As you move to inspect them, she turns in response to a call, and with a mumbled apology, disappears into the night, leaving you as abruptly as she appeared. The hot midday sun is beating down as the two armies line up to face each other outside the walls of Sangmire. Brightly coloured Kestrel plumes wave above the helmets and on large banner standards, as the drums beat out a steady rhythm and the trumpets blare orders. The soldiers in both armies are ripped into a frenzy of anticipation. You can see your newest Rexa, the recently promoted Rayana, speaking words of encouragement to the others. She's as brave as is Erna Beast, but not yet as deadly, and eager to prove herself despite her low birth. A mighty warrior breaks away from the enemy line. He raises his weapons in the air and begins calling out imprecations against Prince Vereshkala, the Legion of the Ruby Hand, the general hygiene of your soldiers, and the unfaithfulness of their sisters. Will no one step forward to battle me, or all the soldiers of the 15th truly cowards and weaklings? You see Rayana strengthen her grip upon her shield and then hide sword, and move forward to answer the challenge. Maybe if I can save a few lives. No. Maybe if Rayana can win. Rayana leaps to the attack with enthusiasm but is overmatched. In the end, she is hit by a blow to the right knee and crumbles to the earth. The nameless challenger gives a roar and then strips Rayana of her weapons and calls for her to be carried from the field as either slave or sacrifice. You hope that the enemy have good positions. Seeing the popular Herexa fall, your men and women grow quieter. The trumpets begin signaling formations and the battle begins. Your Surum's role is to hold position on the right flank until your Dritland sees an appropriate opening and signals for the squads under his command to rush in. Orderly lines march to battle, but the field is soon obscured by clouds of dust from within, which the sounds of fighting and dying emanate. Your soldiers stand unused on the far right side, while the blue peak engages. Though you will direct your Surum, it is the Roman's decision when to order you into battle. What do you do in the meantime? I analyze the bigger picture so I'm prepared when the signal comes. The enemy general has decided to meet the two mighty gauntlets of Haruga with the mace of Vemula. His center holds strong against the main body of the blue peak, neither advancing nor retreating, while an angled unit of skirmishers and medium infantry counter your left gauntlet. The right is where this battle will be won, or lost, as the enemy has formed his heaviest unit into a powerful hammer to strike again and again at the right flank of the allied center, just as Narun had predicted. You suspected that the rightmost Surum under Kasai Narun will soon be routed entirely, though he seems to be pursuing a strategy of dogged perseverance. I should speak with Dritland about lending the aid of my Surum. A victory could be possible. Dritland the Roman is especially Dritland the Roman is especially prickly this day. A cynic might say that he is always at his worst when tacked with positions requiring flexibility and independent action, and his answers are brusque. Yes, he has seen Narun's blunder. No, he does not consider it opportune to intervene. No, he is not interested in debate. I press the point. Victory is possible. Kasai Narun needs the might of our forces to hold him. Let's try that again. Kasai Narun needs the might of our forces to help him hold the right center. You open. It soon becomes clear that the Dritland refuses to grasp the enormity of a damaged right center, and secretly hopes to raid and snatch victory from the jaws of defeat, in an effort to count coup upon Narun's superiors and be lauded as the savior of the battle. With effort, you point out the miscalculation he is making, and convince him that if Narun's serum fails, the battle may be lost. And then questions of why more was not done will be asked. You order your 400 soldiers forward, forcing the enemy blocked to confront them, and giving the retreating allies time to consolidate ranks, gathering their courage, and catch their breaths. Your engagement with the enemy is brief, enough only to blunt their force without compromising your own position. As you disengage, the right flank of the Legion of the Blue Peak is stabilized, and the retreat once more in order. The elite unit phones back to regroup, leaving their dead upon the field but true to their place of honor. As the strong, striking mace of their formation, they are soon reformed to the mighty rhythm of the Karing drums. Fewer but still in lockstep, they once again advance at the signals of their officers, bravely plunging themselves between the right gauntlet and the main body of the Legion of the Ruby Hand. Impatiently, Dritland the Roman motions you to attention and commands you to signal your soldiers to engage. The trumpets cry out as the two units meet with a clatter of Chlen-hide swords. Despite the obvious skill of the foe, your legionnaires hold their line, the places of those who fall being filled by the rested soldiers at the rear. It is clear the battle would soon become a mere test of brute force, were it not for the disadvantageous position of the enemy. The opposing officers, seeing that your serum will not be easily overrun, and realizing their danger of becoming overcommitted and flanked, pull their unit back. Your metal has been tested and found up to the task, but the Dritland seems more annoyed than anything else. If they had persisted in their foolish advance, they would have been crumpled soon enough, and with them the entire enemy strategy, but because of their cowardice, there was now nothing for it but the direct fight, our strength against theirs. Sa Allure of Jakala states in his treatise that in such a fight no advantage is to be passed up, and it is well known that soldiers fight poorly in retreat. Order our men forward and keep them pressing the attack. The enemy unit takes heavy losses in their retreat, and with your serum close upon them, but there is something oddly geometrical and organized in the way they spread out, which makes you suspect a trap. Yes. Caution. As your signaler raises her trumpet to her lips, the Dritland reaches out a hand and coolly presses the instrument back down. Belay that, you bitch. Turning to you with a supercilious smile, he adopts the lecturing tone you know so well. It is only natural that nervousness at the final decisive throw of the dice might make you want to pause and regroup. However, such a break in the fighting will gain the enemy much more than it does you. It is well known that momentum is everything in such a skirmish. I point out the pattern to their seeming retreat and the ease with which this elite squad has been broken. With patient politeness to try to make the hidebound officer see the battlefield as you do. The Dritlan responds to the logic of your argument, nodding sagaciously. I see I have taught you well. You have the order to halt, and we shall take a thoughtful and cautious approach to this battle. As your soldiers pull back, the enemy realizes their ruse has been ineffective and dresses ranks with startling alacrity and organization. The entire enemy strategy having relied upon the ability of their elite opposing Sarum to take your formation's right flank, their officers are soon stymied. As you neutralize the strong striking maze, General Bashun, High Samiran, and General Dajaya, High Kavuluma issue a flurry of orders that result in the left gauntlet overpowering the light skirmishers and medium infantry with a bold charge and then rolling up the enemy center from there. In the end, you are the anvil to their hammer, and the two halves of the Legion of the Ruby Hand carry the battle. That's all for today, everyone. I'm Brian Croydragon signing out. Stay Shrey!